I'm sure this is going to go great. Are we working? Yes, we are working. Oh, I haven't switched the speaker on. Shit. I haven't switched the speaker on. Hang on. Shit. Hello. Oh, I'm rubbish. I haven't switched the speaker on. No refunds. I'm sorry, gang. Hello. I can't move the camera around more. I'm trying a different camera mount. We're off. It begins. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Scenic My Workshop. We're in the workshop today. We're in the workshop. We're doing crafts today. Craft times. The reason why I'm sort of like leaning in and being weird like this
is time to carb streamer.
I'm trying a different place for the camera mount today, and this is as far around that I can make it without it being sort of like, without the mount making all sorts of weird noise. Because there's Studio G in the background there. Look, so the lighting's a bit weird. But then when isn't the lighting weird? You know, it is a nice blue wall, isn't it? Yeah, I had a whole pot of blue paint left over, so there's that. Cheryl hates it. She really hates it. She really hates the blue. I'm whispering because she's the other side of that door. Weird lighting is just home. Yeah, absolutely. Weird lighting's just like, well, the lighting's weird. The angles are weird. The view and the person is weird. Seeing my bike there as well, so there's that.
Cheryl hates the blue wall.
Why would you do that? Why would you do that? I thought we were pals. Why would you do that? Why would you deliberately do me dirty in such a manner? Thanks, everybody. So today we are generating a replica of a cursed object. Chaos Gooseberry. Excellent. Where am I putting my phone? I put my phone there. That was my knee. Everything is fine. We're making a cursed object today. We're making a replica of a thing. Why does this say my bitrate is unstable? I'm also trying a new thing with the streaming setup as well. I'm sure it's fun. I'm also trying a new thing with streaming setup. In the old mate Samsung here has same unstable. Like, yeah, I feel you. Normally this phone is just on the Wi-Fi, but today it is actually on Ethernet and Wi-Fi, which may or may not complicate things. In an effort to try to make things a little bit more coherent's not the word. Coherent isn't the word at all. You know what I mean? I am attempting to improve things by wiring it differently. But today we are going to be, whilst drinking tea and eating biscuits and talking about ducks and things, we're going to be making a replica of a thing called the Demon Core, which, if you haven't seen, if you're not aware of, is a Cold War nuclear relic. As I'm making it, we'll chat more about it. But in the meantime, let me sort of like, that's terrible, isn't it? That lighting's really appalling. Can I do anything about the lighting? I don't think I can, actually. Oh, no, hang on, I might be able to do something about the lighting. Turn some lights on. Yeah, that would do it. Now I can't see anything at all. I am completely blind now. Look, we are learning by doing, right? Science is its own reward. Or something. Little bit Blair Witch, yeah, a little bit Blair Witch. And now the frequency of it is going strange. Not at all creepy and weird, is it? No, that's rubbish. That's rubs. Switch that off. Hang on. I looked directly into it and now I can't see anything at all. No worries. No worries. Everything's going to be fine. There we are. That's better. I'll move the workshop lights across a bit. I looked into those as well. I stared at those too. Everything's got a big blue blob burnt into it now. Everything's fine. There you go. That's a bit better. That's a bit less terrible, isn't it? Switch the room light on. That made no difference. Anyway, so yeah, if you haven't seen anything about the Demon Core, it is it doesn't exist anymore. It was melted down and destroyed. It's called Peanut. Excellent. It was going to be the core of the third nuclear bomb that America dropped, but fortunately they didn't have to drop it. So it went back to the labs, and they decided they were going to use it for research purposes. On what they Bruce Quillen, and what they were going to do with it is research and development. It's actually what they ended up doing with it is basically knobbing around with it. They basically, for want of a better term, they just used it to mess around with. And it ended about as well as you expect it would do for a cricket ball, like a tennis ball sort of sized sphere of weapons grade plutonium. And they started playing with it in the lab and picking at it and hitting it with things and that kind of thing. They definitely moved. They did as much effing around as they could, and they received in kind a tremendous amount of finding out. Some of them more than others, but there was a lot of an hero level finding out, as we will find out. We need to hear names. We do, yeah. Cause of death was indeed finding out, yeah. One guy found out by accident. One guy found out because he found out. He effed around, and by gum he found out. But as I say, more on him and them a little bit later. But yeah, we definitely need to hear the names. We definitely need to hear Bruce Willis. David Hasselhoff. David Hasselhoff is strong. That is very strong. David Hasselhoff is pretty great. That is pretty great. I'm not going to lie to you. That's tremendous work. Scarlett Johansson. That's a lot of work for not a huge amount of punchline, which is correct and great. I'm trying to sort of like, please excuse any weird noises this mount makes. It's cheap. And it's cheap, and I've taken it apart and put it back together again several times now. So, it's a huge amount. Is it though? Actually, yeah, it is. It's a goodly amount of punchline, so I think we can. I think David Hasselhoff is probably my favourite so far. Anyway, I think David Hasselhoff has got to be a front runner, hasn't it? I mean, it's really good work. That is really good. So anyway, gang, how are you all doing? How's Saturday working out for you so far? Oh no. Oh no. The creaky noises your chair makes, and people are like, you okay, Han? Yeah. Look, my mouth is cheap, and I nearly said like able to be rented or something like that, but you're doing Windy Pops. Windy Pops. Points for Windy Pops. Yeah, I think points for Windy Pops. Fabby Woof Woofs I also would have accepted, but I am not tooting into my chair. Yeah. I think I've done that a couple of times. My chair or my elbow has made like quite a farty noise, and I've gone, I'm not farting now. And like a couple of times I've been called on it. I've just gone, okay, make that noise again. And each time I have successfully been able to replicate the noise. So they're like, okay, that's fair then. You aren't doing toots. You know, like, what's yours to do? I don't do any of them. Well done then. I mean, Constitution Day, yeah. I saw a who was it? Rob CD raided somebody who was live streaming Constitution Day, and it looked like a chill hang. There were a lot of people though. There were incredible.
PRRRRRT.
It didn't go per. It went per. Catbox is in a desperate state. Imagine watching the meeting 3 years ago and it's still talked about. Oh no! Oh dear! Oh dear! Yeah, there were a lot of flags. Everyone seemed to be having a brilliant time. Everybody seemed to be having brilliant. There was a lot of traditional dress where it was being streamed. There was a lot of traditional dress, and I'm all for it. I'm all for traditional dress. I think that's ace. But as I've said before, we don't really have a traditional dress here in the UK because reasons, and it's always nice to see a country's like, okay, yeah, it's sort of, yeah. Is it not because all trying to eat as much ice cream? Strong approval, very strong approval of this law. It's just when people weren't even in the meeting. Oh no! Oh no!
My teacher said I would never be good at poetry because of my dyslexia. Jokes on them because I just made 3 vases and
a jug. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I mean, what do we want? A gift? Yeah, that is pretty strong. That's pretty strong. That's a new dyslexia joke. That's Carb Streamer. That's a new one. That's much like a discontinued Japanese car manufacturer. That's a new one on me. Very much not. It didn't look. It didn't look hot day weather. It didn't look hot day clothing. It definitely didn't look summer's day wandering around clothing. It looked snug. It looked warm and didn't look uncomfortable to wear, but it didn't look cool to wear. It didn't look like it would be linen. Okay, mostly wool, a bit of silk. Linen blouse on the. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's sort of. I liked how colourful it was as well. Like the finishing on all of it. Everyone looked fine. You know, everyone was decked out. And I think that's. I'm all for that. I'm all for people having a chill hang in their traditional garb. And yeah, I think that's. I don't think that's a dumb question. I think that's a reasonable. Or is it too hot? Yeah. I don't think that's a dumb question. I think that's a reasonably rational question. It's hot. I'm sure we're getting used to. Yeah. Like here in the UK, we just have problems when it's not grey and it's not grey and slightly overcast. We're like, the sun's a bit much, isn't it? And then like a fortnight later, it's like, cold. Put a cardigan on. Ooh, sort of thing. You know, we're complaining, and that's what keeps us going. And it's one of those. We're very much one of those countries. Yeah. Thank you, Nightbot. This does seem safe. Yeah, that will make more sense in a minute. No, we do not. We do not get used to it raining all the time because otherwise we would have nothing to talk to people about. There would be no workplace conversation if it wasn't for the rain. If it was somewhere nice, we'd be like, oh, it's nice. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, being sweaty is really bad because it's something you can't get away from. You know, especially if you're wearing clothes that you can't shrug off. I hate being overly warm. It's one of my least favorite things because I get sort of like, it's not claustrophobia, but it's kind of like, it's sort of that sort of like, oh, sweaty, no, like sweaty, sort of like, it's almost, you almost get stuck in like a feedback loop of sort of like, oh, don't like this, getting hot, becoming hot boy summer. I can't take this sweater off because I'm not wearing anything underneath it. Oh no. That sort of like weird, sort of like trapped, panicky, hot feeling. Not fun at all. It sucks. I don't like it and I won't have it. Start getting desperate, yeah. Antsy and desperate, yeah. 100%. I can very much relate to that. Yeah, that's sort of like, oh, no, I want this to stop. I want to go somewhere cold, please. Yeah, it's worse when you've just misjudged your clothing. I mean, when you've just sort of gone, oh, I'm going to put a coat on. I think I'm going to put a coat on. You leave the house and you're like, I'm going to put a coat on, and then while you're putting the coat on, your adult internal dialogue's going, look, if you have to take this off, you're going to be burned because you've got nowhere to put it. And you're like, yeah, but if it rains or it's cold, I'm going to die. So I'm just going to risk it. And then like 3 hours later, you're like, why did I bring this coat? I'm dying. Just, yeah. Very, very relatable, unfortunately. Right. Okay. Let's see if I can do this thing. Undo that. Oh, that goes awfully floppy. Matron. I apologise in advance for any weird noises this camera mount makes. Are you safe in there? I think you're safe in there, aren't you? This is Democracy Manifest. We do have biscuits today. We have a incredibly loose phone and camera mount. We've got Garibaldi biscuits, which is I'm coming round to the Garibaldi. I think it's an underestimated biscuit. We've got a little bit of fig rolls as well. Please do start with your wasp. Good morning, evening, afternoon. I like the fact that they come in planks. They're just like things. We've also got some fig rolls, which I am a recent convert to. We've got some wasp biscuits, everybody. In your cheap mouth. Cheap mouth. Look, I have been called many things. Dead fly biscuits. Yeah, dead fly biscuits. Look at all the dead flies. They're just like sweeping them up and putting them in the biscuit. I'm going to very quietly attempt to open this in a manner that's going to enable me to reseal it. Oh, look at this, look. Now that's a biscuit. So dead fly and dead wasp biscuits. Yes, indeed. We're going double insects today. Enunciate carefully, please. It's fine. I wasn't expecting to find Garibaldi's quite nice, but they're incredibly dry though. I took a massive bite of that. I was completely unprepared for it to absorb every single drop of moisture in my entire body. 1 moment, caller. Right. Get some tea. Got old mate flask of tea. Yeah, I know what you mean about the chocolate biscuits, Mum. Whoop. Definitely just didn't pour tea down me. Everything is fine. Everything's going great. Spider-Man! Where's that Spider-Man to now? Where'd be him? Oh, look out, look. It's bloody Spider-Man, isn't it? I mentioned the Spider-Man thing to Cheryl and she was like, oh, good. You're definitely normal. Firstly, cheers, everybody. The tea is good. It's getting a bit flasky though still. Can you dunk? Ooh. Gmon, cool. I like what you've done there. It's very strong. They're not dunkers at all. They're not dunkers at all. Honestly, they go a bit weird when you dunk them. They go a bit weird and sort of cladgy and... better dry. Well, I mean, honestly, I don't think... no, I was going to say I've never been let down by a biscuit with chocolate on it, but Jaffa Cakes have chocolate on them and they're terrible. Bourbon. Sluice or Silver is the inventor of the Bourbon biscuit. Jaffa Cakes. Jaffa Cakes are wrong. Jaffa Cakes are not biscuits. No, they are not biscuits, as we've discussed. But yeah, contentious opinion. Chocolate and orange have no business together. Chocolate and orange are two incompatible flavours. They are nice separately. Together, they are the work of Satan. No. If I had any power, I would ban it. I like the way McVitie's, when they were designing the packaging for these fig rolls, which incidentally is an outrage. But I got bourbons in the kitchen. They come in a plastic tray rather than just like a little bit of cardboard, like the cheap one. But McVitie's do a thing. Oh, I'd go for Mitma. Sold. No, I'm sort of, you know, when it comes to biscuits, I like to mix it up. Sometimes you get luxury biscuits. Sometimes you get 49p from the shop biscuits. I think McVitie's have a thing where they do. That's probably near the truth. McVitie's have a thing where they put like a tagline on their biscuits, and I think they've tried to sort of like do one for the fig rolls, and the best they could come up with was the figgy one. It's like, lads, I feel like you could probably workshop that a bit better. You know what I mean? If that's the best you can come up with, just don't bother putting that on the package, because we know they're figgy, because they're fig. The clue is this bit. Getting figgy with it. We already could write off to McVitie's and charge them for that. With the box around them, yeah, absolutely. Normally when you buy fig rolls, they're just in like a little cardboard tray that just slides out of the thing. But these are in a whole goddamn plastic, not fantastic tray. So I won't be buying these again. But no, I'm a recent convert to the fig roll. I don't know if you've had a fig roll before, but they're sort of like it's like fig paste in there, and they're quite hard. They're, you know. Could use a plastic tray for seedlings, yeah. No, there was, yeah. The wasp thing was quite a revelation. Yeah. Whilst I'm eating them, my brain's like, you forgot about the wasps, didn't you? But I quite like a fig roll, actually. I used to work with a bloke that was like, would eat a whole pack of fig rolls at a time. Would just go into town at lunch, come back with a pack of fig rolls, and just sit at the desk and just destroy them. Gareth had, yeah, yeah. The wasp fig incident. No, the thing with figs is they're very good for your digestion. Yeah. They aid digestion. If you get what. You certainly wouldn't want to eat cat hair in my tea. I know it's serious. God, I love it. How nice is tea? How nice is tea? Right, let's have a look then. Let's have a look at the project, shall we? Good news day. Here we are. We had lunch outside Italian pizza. I forget where I saw it, but I saw a fantastic T-shirt that just said, "After this, we're getting pizza." It's just like, yeah, 100% my energy there. I've heard that Italian pizza. Italian, having had pizza in Italy, it is quite great. But yeah. I have frozen mango slices. Right, let's flip this camera. This is going to get a bit weird and creaky just for a second or two. Vegan pizza rolls. Ooh, ooh. Right, okay, we do that. And then we do this. Clunk, grunk, groan, splinter, break, other noises. Right, what's that angle like? I think that angle's about right, isn't it? That looks So there were tables were in the shade and quiet. Ooh, lovely. Lovely. Okay, so this is the bit of it I've already done. Also, how nice is this as a as a mechanism. I've taken a little bit of creative license with the Lab Jack. I'd rather Lab Jack than Fleetwood Mac. Because the base that the thing sat on was a little bit tricky to replicate. So I got a Lab Jack. And I've been doing this for quite a while. It's got to be said, I've been sort of... That's satisfying though, isn't it? Little scissor jack thing. You may not have seen the thing that we're copying, so let me show you the thing that we're copying. This is the object. Come on, phone. Okay, I'm gonna have to take the phone out of the thing now. This is the object that we're making here. This is the Demon Core. Well, this is actually a replica of the Demon Core because you wouldn't be able to get that close to the Demon Core with film, or indeed genitals. So this is the thing we're making. As you can see, it's a bowl of solid metal with another sort of bowl on top of it, and inside there, underneath there, is a 8 centimeter ball of weapons grade plutonium. So that's a thing. We can close that browser tab and go back there for a second. Podcast mode. Cool. I'm going to fill it with biscuits. No, I'm going to fill it with polystyrene and tape and other things. Cheers, chum. The workbench is great. It needs a bit of a tidy at the back. At the back and the sides needs a little bit of a tidy. But yeah, my workbench is pretty rad. Fair dues. Having a workshop's great. So yeah, so this is obviously what I've done is I've drilled a hole in the bottom of the bowl and bolted the whole thing together. So this is now a one-piece thing. But yeah, how nice is the scissor lift thing? So yeah, this is the base of our Demon Core. as you can see here, we have the here's our core, which is going to sit in the middle of this, and then we've got the cap over the thing. Let's look. So this is today's order of thingy. So yeah, that's got to sit in there. So the first big order of business is filling this with polystyrene, is putting some polystyrene in here so that our boy can sit. My duck, excellent. Like that. Like that. And then we're going to add some offensively bright lights to it. And then what I'm going to do is what I'm going to do then is I'm going to leave it in the background of my team's video calls and see if anybody comments. Well, what was going to happen is this here, the actual core. Blue light, yeah. Ionizing radiation is blue when it hits the air, because it ionizes the air, and the glow that comes off intense radiation is blue. It's a very pretty blue by all accounts. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you've done there. So yeah, what the idea was is this was going to be the plutonium core of the third bomb that America dropped. But yeah, that's the stuff. Yeah, that's the stuff. But because there was a surrender, they didn't use it. No, this is actually like a massage ball or something. The idea is that you put it in like this thing, like this, and then you can put like essential oils in there, and you can sort of like eerie it onto your loved one's body. No. So yeah, they were gonna drop the bomb, but ended up not needing to. So what they decided to do is just like, well, let's take the core back to the labs, and we can use it for science. We can use it for research purposes. And that originally, it is just a giant rollerball pen. Yeah, absolutely. That originally went okay for the first sort of like 3 or 4 months. That went fine. You know, everybody respected the, because in the Forsyth thing, this is like 9 centimeters. You know, so like the size of like a biggish tennis ball sort of size thing. You know, maybe a bit bigger than a tennis ball. Everybody respected the large ball of weapons grade plutonium. Okay? Because let's not gloss over the fact that this was a ball of weapons grade plutonium. This is one of the most dangerous objects on the surface of the planet. So for a while it went perfectly okay. Everyone was happy. They were doing experiments with it. They were doing criticality experiments with it, which if you've ever done any stuff about nuclear science, I suppose you'd call it, I don't know. Criticality, right, is your core, your radioactive object is giving out particles. It's giving out energetic particles. And if it's just sitting there, all of those energetic particles are just wafting out into the air. You know, they're just doing radioactive stuff. You know, that kind of thing. And that's dangerous, but it's not super duper mega ultra dangerous. It only becomes dangerous if you deliberately start reflecting those particles, those like neutrons and electrons, back into the object. Because then what happens is they hit other neutrons and electrons and split them. And then those bits you split hit more bits that split, that hit more bits that split. And before you know it, this has gone from a moderately spicy object to something that's muy caliente. You know what I mean? That's gone, it's gone from being, hey, how's it doing? How's it going in here? To, why is everything blue? Why do I taste copper? My arm hurts. Sort of time. Like a fractal, but not. Yeah, like a fractal, but terrifying. So what the lab was doing, I can taste purple. I can see your music. So what they were doing is like the first guy that this killed. Let me get his name up. Let me get the Wikipedia article up so I can tell you his actual name. Harry Daghlian Jr. He was doing an experiment on August the 21st, 1945, with the core. And what he was doing is he was doing an experiment where you've got the core sitting there and you're putting blocks of metal, normally tungsten, around it to sort of like gently reflect its energy back to it. And that's sort of like how close could you get the metal blocks to the thing before it gets spicier than you want it to. You know what I mean? Yeah, the second one is the bad one. But anyway, so he was sort of like, he was stacking stuff next to it. He was stacking bits of metal around it. And he obviously got a bit sweaty Betty, and his hands got sweaty, and he dropped one of these metal blocks, these like metal building block things. He dropped one directly onto the top of the core, and the core got very grumpy and killed him. Didn't kill him straight away, but it didn't do him the world of good. It went a thing called prompt critical, which is that state where you criticality is what you want in a nuclear power station. You've aggroed the plutonium enough that it's giving out energy, but you're regulating that and you're stopping it from aggroing fully. Prompt critical is when it gets aggroed, when it gets properly like, okay, that's bad. You know, there's prompt critical is when like Chernobyl happens and that kind of thing. Let me try giving you his surname again. That man's surname is Daghlian. Daghligan. So yeah, he was 24 when this accident happened, and he received 200 rads of neutron radiation and 110 rads of gamma radiation, which is a lot. Which is a lot of a lot of a lot of a lot. The maximum you're supposed to get for gamma radiation is about 5 rads, and your boy Harry received 110 rads. So he became a little bit poorly. Oh yeah, he was. Yeah, I mean, he wasn't vaporized or anything. He just died of radiation poisoning because, the problem with radiation when it gets to this sort of level is it corrupts your DNA. It manks up your DNA. It corrupts your DNA, and it also makes your body incapable of error checking the copies of the DNA it's making. So loads of errors get into your DNA and get replicated, and it continues to error. It should take some Rad-X, 100%. Yeah. Yeah. So that was unfortunately poor old Harry. But the one we're yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So anyway, that was in August 1945. In May 1946, Harry's colleague Louis Slotin was back on the core, the same core that had killed his pal. But the problem with Louis is that he had Harry was doing it sort of right. Harry got it wrong, but not terribly wrong. Louis got it completely wrong. And what your boy Louis was doing is he was lick the brush with the phosphorus. Yeah, that's terrifying. I just kicked let me just pick up the flask because the flask was falling over. The lid was on it though, so that's okay. And the problem with Louis, and the reason why the Demon Core is the way it is, you know, is a known object the way it is. It's all a good man. No, yeah, everything about Marie Curie's office is radioactive. Like, I don't think you can visit it, can you? But anyway, so what Louis had is he had an unapproved protocol for doing the tests, because he thought what he could get away with doing is, instead of doing the criticality experiments with blocks and things, he got a lid of it wasn't a lid of a saucepan, but it might as well have been like a lid of a saucepan. And what he was doing is he had a flathead screwdriver, and he had lifted it up, because if you completely enclose the core, you will achieve prompt criticality. Because 100% of the particles being given off by the plutonium get redirected back into the plutonium, and it go boom. So as long as you sort of like keep a gap, you're going to be okay. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. But so what Louis did is, instead of attaching this to a machine that could regulate it, or even just a set of gears that could sort of like irrit it to a precise manner, your boy just jammed a screwdriver in there and was doing this sort of shit with it. He was just literally just going, here, look at this, look, hello, look, the blue, not the blue, not the blue, not blue, sort of thing. And one day, while he was doing this, that he had been told many times to not do, like Enrico Fermi and Feynman both said, that's going to kill you. That is going to kill you. That is a stupid, dangerous thing to do, and you should not do it. But Slotkin was a bit of a show-off, and he continued to show off. And one day, while he was doing the screwdriver fun time, the screwdriver slipped out from underneath it and enclosed the core, and all of the radiation got out. Everyone's gangster until the room turns blue. In the approximately 15 seconds it took him to realize what he had done and do that with his hand, he received a tremendous amount of radiation into his body. Like, I'm laughing nervously about it, sort of thing, you know, rather than, why is my keyboard, why does it have such low range? He received 1,000 rads of neutron radiation. He was quite poorly and died 9 days later. The thing with the Demon Core, the thing with all of this, is that it's used as a example, if you like, of, can you microwave yourself in real time? Absolutely it is. The effects of the Bluetooth. Yeah, it might Logitech crap. Yeah, he died in 9 days. It took him 9 days to die. He would have been fine if he hadn't have done the screwdriver thing. If he hadn't have been showing off, he would have probably been okay, because this shit wouldn't have happened. But it did. And it's the Demon Core has sort of become like a shorthand for bravado and not following basic procedures and that kind of thing. You know, it's become like a, yeah, that's what you get, unfortunately. That is kind of what happens, my dude, sort of vibes. This seems very safe. Yes, it does. So yeah, it's held up as like a shorthand for not following procedures, not being safe, thinking you know better, being a dude, basically. So I figured I could make one. So the first order of business is I have to trim this piece of polystyrene down. Not this piece of polystyrene, the big piece of polystyrene, this piece of polystyrene. So this piece of polystyrene fits in there, but it's too thick. So I've got to cut down that line. This line here? Yeah, this line here. And to do that, I'm going to use my new hot wire cutter thing, which you may notice is smaller than the actual thing. So I might have to scythe it a bit, but it's going to be fine. Where's the stand for it? There's the stand. Put the stand there, because it does get quite hot, actually, as you imagine it would. Like that. Right, okay. I promised I would. I promised I would. So hang on a minute, let me... Whoa, that network connection is using all of the battery. Make it cookie. It would make it cookie. I promised that I would. Are we safe? We're safe. We're going in. Okay. Can anybody stop the floor in my plant? Okay, look, I'm going to have to... Also, how satisfying is that? Oh, you can't see, can you? Oh, my phone's gone. Yeah, there we are. There we go, no styrene fumes for Bodhi. I really hope you can hear that, because it's such a satisfying noise. You can hear it, cool. Oh well, let's off about it. Get the cat hair off it. I think I'm going to stop there actually. That's pretty legit. So what? The other thing I need to do is this bit's already strong. What the smoke? Okay, please don't set the smoke alarm off. Please do not set the smoke alarm off. No, I'm not going to be able to do it with that. So yeah, this is the glamorous side of prop manufacture. A bit more. Well, that's level, Andrew. That's better. That's less terrible. So that in there. Yes. Right, switch this off because it gets moderately terrifying. Quick clean up. Right, take my Darth Vader mask off. Okay. Oh, that smells nice. Oh, yummy. What can I put this in? What can I... Oh, big bag there. No, the bag's got bags in it. Haha, I didn't think that through, did I? Didn't think this through. Okay. Little bit of scrap polystyrene there. I'm going to put it on the floor in that bucket. Cool. Yeah, it's a specific tool for cutting like plastics and polystyrenes and stuff. It's just a heating element and a very thin wire. And yeah, it is like a cake leveler, but at 200 degrees centigrade. Okay, put that. Oh, it cools down great. Brilliant. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to scrunch this into here. Are we going to scrunch this into here? No, we aren't. We are going to. Because what I've got to do is I've got to carve a dent in here. Ah, right, cool. Yeah, so I need to put a dent in there for this to sit in. Like that. Feed Maggie. Eee! Were there shapes? Okay, how are we going to do that? What dissolves polystyrene? Do I have anything that dissolves polystyrene? Probably, but how do you stop it dissolving? That's the question. Hey! Cowboy Gone Insane, thank you, chum. Thank you for following. Welcome in. Acetone, yeah. I thought acetone. I've got some, but I'm paranoid that I wouldn't be able to stop it once it starts eating it. And I mean, I feel like it would sort of like just continue going nom 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 until I didn't want it to. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the old-fashioned, slightly stinky way and just melt a hole in it. You know what I mean? I think I'm just going to melt a melty hole. 3D printer, wicked. I have a 3D printer at the back. The problem is my brain doesn't work in CAD. Have I told you this story before? Heat up the core and drop it on. Yeah, that would also work. The problem with the core is it's got fluid in it. I don't know if you can hear that. But it's got like a liquid inner. Could heat up the core. Could heat up the core. I'm gonna carve it. I'm going to cheap out and just carve it, I think. Because anything else I feel like is going to cause issues. Put my mask back on, hang on a minute.
Okay. Cause issues. I see. Yeah, that's actually quite good. Okay, let's sort of estimate the center of it first. But you don't have to do a big hole. Big hole. Yeah. Can we all hear Lexicology screaming at me, incidentally? I feel like we can. I can feel like we can all definitely hear Lexi sort of going, "Oh, you're doing it wrong. Oh, you're gonna die." Oh yeah, Louis had AutoCAD in high school. Yeah, the problem is with CAD is my brain just doesn't like to work that way. My brain's really, really good at sort of going, here's a big pile of raw materials, make me a thing. But if it's just like, use your maths to make me a thing in a computer, I don't really have any maths, so my brain sort of just short circuits and stops. I'm far more sort of like, I feel far more creatively able to do stuff with my hands rather than a mouse and keyboard. But then in fairness, when I was at high school, I don't think CAD had been invented, you know what I mean? Yeah, he had, I think there were like 4, maybe 5 people in the room when Louis did the screwdriver thing, because he famously threw each of them like a piece of chalk, so they could mark on the floor their initials and where they would like draw around their feet, so that they could calculate how much radiation they had absorbed. Which, you know, I guess is thoughtful from Louis. You know what I mean? He had the presence of mind to do that, but also he didn't have the presence of mind just to jam a screwdriver underneath a big pile of weapons-grade plutonium. You know? I feel like that was very much his first mistake. I'm sorry if the audio's bad. I've got a respirator on. What are you doing? I'm just picking up polystyrene. But it was a bit late for good ideas, yeah. I would say significantly too late for a good idea. The best idea would to be not done that. But eventually what happened to the actual demon core is that it was melted down and reintegrated into the stockpile of plutonium. The idea of melting down plutonium is moderately terrifying. Do you know what I mean? The idea of just sort of like casting plutonium into a kiln seems like something I would choose to not do. Feels like something I would, if I had a choice, I would choose to not do that. Or at least not be in the room when it was happening. And I don't think that's not bad, a little bit more. I am going to change thingies. Hang on a minute. Wait for this to cool down. Okay. Let's go for a stubby point now. Takes a little while to warm up. So yeah, what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be coating this in some metal effect Fablon for the top bit. You'll see in a minute. That's part of the reason why I don't have to be particularly I don't have to give this a huge amount of loving finish wise, because it's going to be covered in quite thick plastic in a minute. Oh yeah, that's better. That's actually doing it. So I think it's safe to say, like, if any of my colleagues recognise this object, it's several thousand points to them. Let's be a bit wider. I mean, if somebody sort of goes, hey, yeah, what's that in the background? Is that a, you know. Also, I apologise for the dry skin on polystyrene noises. Hopefully they should stop soon. This is far better than being outside in the country. Disco ball. It sure is. It sure is the world's most dangerous disco ball. Nile Rodgers unavailable for comment. I feel sorry for anyone who's outside having a wholesome time. I mean, I'm going to stop there. I'm happy with that. Outside is overrated. It is overrated. The graphics are good, but the respawn time's terrible. So okay, just going to pick that up because that should not be.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, too many people there. Yeah. Speaking of that, I was looking at, you know, we were saying about the train thing last week, was it? We were talking about the Steam Festival thing. I did a bit of digging about the Steam Festival thing. We might be doubtful for it, unfortunately. I have to do a couple of things. I have to go to where it's going to be and see what the phone signal is like. Because it is in the middle of nowhere. It's not at the racecourse. It's in a small village in the middle of nowhere, which might have no phone signal, which is gonna disrupt the plan. Right. So here's the metal we're coating this with, or at least attempting to coat this with. It's a bit curly though, isn't it? Look at that. So yeah, we might well have signal issues, and it's going to be absolutely shockers with humanity. Can I just cut this roughly freehand? Yeah. So we might be a bit doubtful for the train thing, but we'll see. We'll see. What are we making? We are making a replica Demon Core, mate. Bad choices. Yeah, we are. Chip for Hobbycraft. I didn't get where I am today by shopping at Hobbycraft. Right. So yeah, that needs to go on there. Demon Core. Yeah, it's a type Demon Core into Google. Treat yourself. It's a cursed object from the Cold War. Type Demon Core into Google and be prepared to not sleep for a few days. It's one of those objects, I'm afraid. Right, okay, this is going to be interesting because I haven't done any of this for a little while. How bendy are you? Oh, you're not hugely bendy. Right, no thanks. Okay, yeah, that's, you know what? That's reasonable, mate. That is a reasonable and sensible reaction. Oh, local man does it first time. Let's live dangerously and put a new blade on that scalpel first, shall we? Let's put a new blade on the scalpel. Space Marines. Whew, whew. I had a little sort of like, oh God. Right. New blade. New blade on the old Swan Morton. Let's rock. Let's rock very carefully. Old blade in there. Put the old blade nice and safe. Yeah, definitely. No heresy here. No heresy found. Right, so now I need to sort of like give this a trimmy trim. Oh, that's a noise. Can you hear that? That's a bit of a noise, isn't it? And I do apologise. That's... Ooh! Tudor style function room. 40th birthday debut gig. Wicked, mate. That sounds brilliant. Yeah, oh, no, getting a bit away from it there. Oh. Okay. Get it back together, Bowed. Keep it together. You can do this. No, you're screwing up, Bowed. How far have I got to go? Not far. Ooby-doo. Ooby-doo. One more time, but with less screw-ups. No, oh, no, hang on. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Why would you do that? Oh, it's glued to itself. Dude, dude. It did sound like birds singing for a while, didn't it? It's glued to itself. I hate it so much. Okay. Woo. Oh, that's actually quite sharp. Have I just cut myself? Yeah, I have. Ah, right. Yeah. Bear with me a minute. Just got to put a plaster on that because we all know the blood is TOS. There we go. I have ceremonially, as always, I have cut my hand. But then I always do because I'm a clumsy idiot. The Demon Core game's another big team. Yeah. Continuing to hurt people beyond the shadow realm, or whatever you want to call it. Right, okay, there we go. Okay, we're good. We're good, everything is fine. Oh no. Give this a little bit of a trim. The weather forecast today was for like record-breaking thunderstorms and things, but so far not so much. Peroxide on that lighter. I will put some stuff on it, don't worry. I will tend to my wounds later on. I would tend to my wounds like the responsible human I definitely am. Also, how great are cutting mats? I mean, oh. I mean, like scrap pieces of wood are great, but cutting mats are just... That's all right, though, isn't it? Rubina has green pentagon. Please do not summon stinging insects. That's the core idea. Oh, that's very good. That's very strong. Right, so what we got to do now is we've got to scrunch this in here, and then make that hole again through the tape. Ho, 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 ho. Here we are. It's beginning to look a lot like a very threatening object. It's beginning to resemble the thing it's supposed to resemble. God, I'm an idiot, fair dues. I'm a 50-year-old man. Look at this. I mean, look at it. No, what it was is it's a recreation of a moment in time when a man decided what would be the correct thing to do would be to F around with a ball of weapons-grade plutonium, a metal bowl, and a screwdriver. He honestly thought that was going to be the thing that would... Science toast. Yeah, science toast. Yeah, very much. Smells like burning guy in here. Yeah. Mr. Slotin thought he knew better. Mr. Slotin effed around and found out. It smells like, yeah, why does it smell like burning rhesus monkey in here? See, he effed around and he found out. Yeah, he did a considerable amount of effing around and in conversation wise, he definitely found out that what he was doing was wrong and bad and should not be done. Yeah, he thought that he could get away with just like the plutonium core there. It was 15 seconds of my life. Yeah, he would put like a cap over it and then sort of give it irrit with the screwdriver. That was his idea, to sort of like go, I'm just going to sort of like test it with a screwdriver and I'm doing science. Whereas what he was actually doing was stupid shit. And people who do stupid shit with weapons-grade plutonium normally die. And what could possibly go wrong? Absolutely. I can see no way I can see no way that tragedy will occur. Yeah. I absolutely do not foresee any problems in the next 19 seconds. What he was doing was effing around. Yeah, what he was doing was he basically scored a flat 10 on the F around find out graph. You know, he did. I do not put. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, and like that's the thing with this is I am not using this in any way to sort of like excuse or normalize or make fun of nuclear weapons because they're bad. You know, they're obviously bad. I don't think it's a particularly hot take to say, you know, nuclear weapons are bad. But what we are doing with this is appreciating that the boy was told to not do this by a bunch of really eminent scienticians, and he didn't listen. he thought he knew better. He thought he was Dr. Invincible and, you know, a big science guy. Whereas what he was a dickhead with a screwdriver. And I feel like, I mean, myself included, I feel like what the world needs is less dickheads with screwdrivers. I feel like, you know, sometimes we could... Combi talks in part of the world. Yeah, it would be definitely. Right, so what I need to do is I need to just sort of like make a little nibbly bit in here for the sitting of the ball. Sitting of the ball. How far out do I have to do those cuts? Quite a way, I think, actually. Because old mate plutonium core's gotta sit pretty and be secure in there. It's a little bit high. You know what I mean? He's sitting a little bit. Boop. Boop. Why am I making boop noises? I don't know. It's probably because I'm an idiot. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Give that a little bit of persuasion down there. Ah, see, now I'm quite pleased with that. I don't hate that at all. Need to get rid of that little crease there. Might tease out that crease later on. But I don't hate that. Oh, brilliant. Hey, nicely done, chum. So there we go. That's the... Yeah, now it's starting to look quite threatening and a bit... How the hell are you doing? Hope you're ready for Hot Boy Summer, everybody. Because Hot Boy Summer's starting. Hot Boy Summer starts here. Yeah, I want to get rid of that little crease just because it doesn't... Demon Call Summer. Are you ready for Demon Call Summer? In fact, what I might do is just make that the presentation side, actually. Because that side's the fabloning is a little bit better on that side. I'm going to photograph this. Hang on a minute. Let me just take a photograph with my iPhone just so I can. Okay. Cackles increase. Okay. I'm pleased with that. I'm pleased with that so far. I think what I'm going to do is I might trim out a little bit more of that Fablon. But I'm not going to say Fablon. I'm going to say it like it's the Fabion. Like the internet's favourite goose botherer, Fabio. Yeah. I like the fact that it's high gloss as well. I'm enjoying the fact that it's very shiny. Because the next step is to install the lighting. Actually, no, the next step is to have a nice cup of tea. The next step is to have a cup of tea. Cup of tea and perhaps a biscuit. I'm not going to glue the screwdriver to it, but I am looking for a way to sort of like, I feel like this screwdriver might be a bit long. I'm considering sort of like sneaking a magnet in there or something that radiate positivity. Absolutely. Hits differently today, doesn't it? Hits differently today, everybody. In fact, that's a photograph, isn't it, actually? Hang on a minute. That's another photograph. That's that's definitely a photograph. I hadn't clocked that. That's everything's it's almost as if someone planned it, even though someone didn't. Someone's an idiot. Okay. The ideal nuclear family. Oh dear. 2 lumps of rads. Excellent. Do you want any plutonium in that, darling? Right, where did I put the lights? Over here. Take 2. Excellent. You know it makes sense. What do I need? I think what I need is an adult, really, but adults are in quite short supply. None available. Excellent. Okay. All right, yes. The next part is this. That's going to give it a very threatening aura. Where's the switch? There's the switch. Switch that back on. You're damn right. Forbidden disco ball, very much. I'm gonna, while my tea becomes drinkable, I'm just going to rummage through my screwdrivers. That's not a euphemism. What drawer do I keep my old screwdrivers in? Ah, here we go. Does anybody else have a drawer of like screwdrivers that they don't really care about? You know what I mean? Is that normal? Does anybody else have like a selection of like not very good screwdrivers that you can just use as levers if you need to? Is that just me? Oh, now that's... Oh no, hang on a minute. Whilst that isn't accurate to the photograph, but that is pretty telling, isn't it? Like, you know, it's not accurate to the photograph. It looks a bit phallic. Oh, it does. Well, I mean, I can't help it if you've got a disgusting, filthy mind. I mean, 2 screwdrivers. I need an empty screwdriver again. Because, like, I've got good screwdrivers. No, I've got good, reasonably expensive screwdrivers. But I've also just got, like, shit, cheap ones that I don't care about. Awkward questions. Well, look. It was awkward enough when they spotted the vault suit. And I mean, it was awkward enough when they were like, "Hey, what's that jacket in the background of your room, Andy?" And I was like, "Well, So, the idea that my colleagues might think of me as being a bit weird isn't going to be news. I think we've got to go with a little screwdriver, haven't we? I think we need to go with the baby screwy. Or find a way to sort of like do that with it. This really is centre for the easily amused with Andrew, isn't it? But
I used to be a banker, but then I lost interest.
Lost interest. Splendid, splendid. Don't forget to put carp streamer on the end, otherwise TTS will lose the last syllable. I don't know why. I think I'm going to go with this screwdriver. I think I'm going to go with old mate Tiny Screwy. Okay, it's decided. That's good. So what I need to do now, move this out of the way.
Carp streamer, carp streamer.
Carp streamer. So what we need to do now is we need to mount these lights in here, inside the dome. Oh, this is gonna look great, / terrible, / very threatening. Let's degrease the bowl. This stuff is supposed to be self-adhesive LEDs. They're backed with like a gluey back on them, so little bit of IPA on there, and we're just gonna give that a cleany clean. Everything's fine. The bowls are literally from the Amazon cooking supplies section. That is a McCall. This is a pan lid for like barbecuing. I think the idea is that you put meat on a barbecue and then you put this over the top of the meat, and it's sort of like, I don't know, barbecue stenches up your meat a bit. These ones are actually noodle bowls, but the idea of eating out of just like, oh my. That's nice though, isn't it? That's moderately satisfying. I got 2 of these, so I can. Does the other one have better tone? Let me just look. Hang on, bear with me. This came in a pack of 2. I just want to make sure the other one's got. Okay, this one's got better tone, so I'm going to keep this one, and I'm going to put the lights inside this one. There we go. When you make burgers, you flip the patty, put the cheese on, and then cover it with the cloche so it melts. Right. Okay. Yep. So, am I going to be able to use all of this? I think I probably should anyway, but yeah, I am going to be able to use all of it. Look. I love how evil this is making me feel. I love how moderately cackly I am becoming while I'm doing this. I mean, it sure is a good job that we're approaching this in a rational adult manner, because otherwise it would feel really inopportune and tasteless. Okay, can't get the end. Have stumpy fingernails. Where did the scalpel go?
Joys of playing guitar and not being allowed fingernails. Okay, we're off.
We're peeling. We're up peeling. We're not. Okay.
Doing. Try not to touch the glue too much. Oh my god, that's satisfying. Oh, I'm a childish weirdo. Doop. Should have tilted that down a bit, but you didn't, so you're a bit of a moron. There we are. There we go. I'm so easily amused, it's terrifying. I like the way I went out and bought like a little USB switch for the light as well. You know, definitely not an idiot. Like that. Tilt the thing down so it can get the full effect. Like that. Tighten that up. Switch that off. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Why does my brain have to be like this? Oh Christ. Oh, I can only apologise. Oh, hang on, I've just realised. I just made a mistake. I didn't put the core in. How can I have been so sloppy? Whoa, why did I not think about the lab coat? I genuinely looked at lab coats while I was perusing the lab supplies bit of Amazon. So what did you do at the weekend? Well, but also with the slot in, yeah, very much. Hang on, let me show you. You can't see the best angle from where you're sitting, so let me just reduce, because if you get quite low down on it, you can behold the core. Oh, I'm pleased with that. I'm very pleased with that. There you go, gang. There's your demon core right there. Large and in charge. I'm going to take some nighttime pictures of it because it's scientist is virgin. Yep. I can't wait to take some pictures in the evening with that.
Yeah, what I might do, I might just drop a tiny bit of hot glue there just to keep the screwdriver honest. I mean, if I sort of like, it's reasonably, see, it does that, which is obviously the nightmare scenario. Selfie me in my demon core. What you doing? Oh, just chilling. Generating 1,000 rads of gamma radiation. Nothing to worry about. Everything's fine. Chilling and maxing. Demon core on the street. Demon core in the sheets. I'm really satisfied with that. Like, I shouldn't be satisfied that I have made one of mankind. I have made a replica of like one of mankind's worst ever things. I feel like I should not be pleased with it, but I am really pleased with that. Here's to you, Mr. Slottin. Here's to you. Hands to chalk. Thank you. He messed around so we could. She is absolutely not going to be impressed. She has already given me eyebrows about it. There was already, when I explained it to her, she was like, "Yeah, I'm not sure why you'd want to make one of those." It's like, yeah, but in fairness, she hasn't seen it in person. So because it's obviously majestic in person. It's obviously a lot more. Oh, I'm such an idiot. I'm a dangerous moron. I really am. You know what? I couldn't be happier with how that turned out. I thought about weathering it, but I might not weather it, actually. I think it might just... Very cool, Valley. Boom. I might not weather it. I kind of like it in its like completely clean state. I was gonna like put a bit of weathering, like rust and a bit of corrosion on it and stuff, but I might not. I might just leave it shiny and clean, shiny and chrome. I don't know whether she would be impressed by the weirdo she lives with. So the only thing I've got to do is sand that maker's mark off the screwdriver, because that's a bit how you do it, isn't it? So sand that off. I'll just polish that off later on. I think, what I might do is just put like a tiny little dot of glue there, just so the screwdriver can stay honest. How warm does that get? Oh, it doesn't get that warm. It's not cold, but it's not hot. And so we've got a nice little toggle switch there on the old USB port. I made such wise life choices. Yeah, I'm doing it. Yeah, I have chosen. Well, there we go. Oh look, my tents. My tent collection. Please ignore my tent collection. It is very blue, isn't it? It is very blue. I think that's why she hates it so. I think that's why she hates it so much. Oh, now I've got too much light. So, gang, look, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for joining me on this glowing review. That's very good. That's very good. Too many cam gestures, so please. I mean, by all means, don't let me stop you. You're doing God's work, so don't let me stop you from those. I should probably go and do Rory and Con and stuff. And I've also looking at the test with the Ethernet cable and the Wi-Fi seems to have worked, but also it's completely came the battery for this thing. The battery, this phone was fully charged when we started. It's now at 33%. So stream phone is old mate Smaznung is taking it hard. Nervous Honks, I will pass on the Stuart, yeah, it's doing good work, but yeah, I wasn't expecting it to cane the battery quite this much, because it's really caned the battery. So gang, look, cheers for your company this afternoon. Thank you for joining me on this, I think safe to say, weirder stream. It was supposed to be terrible. It was supposed to be like, there were like yellow thunderstorm warnings and things were happening. It's lovely. Look at that. Cheers, everybody. See you on Monday for Bird Feeder stream and idiocy in the greenhouse. Until then, please stay safe. Please remain lovely. Sensible Bimo. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Bimo. Please remain lovely. Get yourself a nice big glass of water later on. And don't go jamming screwdrivers into containers of weapon grade plutonium. I think that's the lesson we can all take away from today. Is like, don't do that. That's pretty good advice. See you Monday, gang.